This video is gonna be a travel video, and that's because that's probably what this thing is made for. This is the DJI Osmo Pocket, and it's a tiny camera with a gimbal. That intro you just watched, all shot on the Osmo. We're in Bohol, technically on a boat in Bohol, and I'm testing out the Osmo Pocket. Of course, being on a motorboat in the ocean is a very good test of this thing's stabilization capabilities. Switch to Slo-Mo mode, everything looked even more cinematic. Highlight of the morning was seeing some dolphins in the wild. Unfortunately, the Osmo Pocket was not able to shoot that, and the video you're seeing now was shot on a Huawei P30 Pro. If there's one drawback to the Pocket, it's that it cannot zoom. Speaking as a gimbal noob, someone who has never actually figured out how to work a gimbal, this thing is pretty easy to use. Joshua just gave me a quick tutorial on how to do stuff on it, and I think I can say that I can work it on this trip. So here's how it works. Basically, it's a tiny camera attached to this handle with a gimbal arm. There's a tiny touchscreen which also works as a viewfinder, which is a great thing for people like me who vlog. There are 3 modes. There's follow, which allows the camera to follow a certain subject. There's tilt lock, which means that you basically have the gimbal on lock. And there's first person point of view, which is what I've been using a lot for this video. What are we doing? Okay, this isn't waterproof, so I'm keeping this. Hey. Okay, let's go. We're just on the first island, but I am definitely afraid that this thing will get wet as early as now. Obviously, it's not an action camera, but it's just that it's a nice companion to trips like this because it's pretty small and compact. But again, it's not waterproof, it's not weather sealed, so you have to be extra careful. The Osmo Pocket is not a wide-angled camera, but raise your arm up, pocket in hand, and it'll give you the perfect view. Just enough of your face and the background, but not too wide that it gets distorted. Also, did you notice how good that autofocus is? How are you, babe? Okay, we're disembarking. Okay! And that is where we came from. We are by the sandbar, but as you can see, it's high tide. We are walking on a sandbar, basically in the ocean. This is one instance where I am definitely wishing that this thing I'm shooting with is waterproof. This was as good a place as any to try out the Pocket's follow mode.
Subject lost, face track on, subject lost, because there's too many shadows. Go. Keep looking at the camera. Subject lost. You went too fast.
Is it working?
Yeah, let's go.
I'm so tired. Good job. This camera can definitely take great cinematic footage, but a lot of it also depends on the shooter. Ow, okay, that. Don't get me wrong though, a lot of modes like the slow-mo or the time-lapse mode make it so much easier. Marketed to retail at $349 US, which is a great price for a tiny thing with a gimbal, optimum use entails you add on some little accessories, which just means the whole thing will not only cost you $350. The Osmo Pocket is a handy little thing that definitely impressed me. I can see myself bringing this around on so many trips just because it's such a small device. It's obviously something you can trust shooting with despite the reasonable shortcomings. I wouldn't be lying if I said that I'm honestly thinking of getting one for myself just for all my trips and everyday use.